Samsung isn't trying to shock the world with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Instead, they are doing something far more dangerous in the current landscape of technology releases. They are perfecting it. In an industry that often thrives on manufactured crisis and the constant demand for revolutionary change, choosing a path of refinement is a bold strategic move. Every leak, every rumor, and every credible report points toward a device built on smarter choices, stronger materials, and a philosophy designed for real life, rather than just generating headlines. This upcoming release isn't about hype or creating a momentary spike in social media engagement. It is about control. It is about Samsung taking a step back to assess what a flagship smartphone truly means to the person holding it in their hand every single day. Before we dive deep into the specifics of this anticipated device, please make sure to subscribe to our channel so you can stay notified on daily tech updates, ensuring you never miss the nuances of how technology evolves around us. The Galaxy S26 Ultra feels like the result of Samsung slowing down and thinking carefully about what flagship users actually want. We live in a market that is often saturated with exaggerated upgrades and temporary excitement. Companies frequently introduce features that sound impressive on a spec sheet, but offer little value in actual daily usage. Against this backdrop, the S26 Ultra appears to focus on something much deeper: long-term satisfaction. Instead of reinventing everything just for the sake of change, Samsung seems to be refining the Ultra experience into something stronger, cleaner, and more dependable. When you look closely at the leaks and the trajectory of their recent design language, it becomes clear that this is not a random upgrade cycle driven by panic or competition. It is a deliberate, calculated strategy aimed at solidifying their position as the maker of the most reliable tools for professionals and enthusiasts alike. Let's begin by examining the visual identity, as this is the first point of contact between the user and the device. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to arrive in 6 distinct color options, which have been carefully divided between standard retail colors and online exclusive finishes. This segmentation allows Samsung to cater to different types of buyers without diluting the brand's core aesthetic. Colors like pink gold and silver shadow are designed to feel premium without being loud or ostentatious. They carry a subtle elegance that suggests sophistication rather than flashiness. On the other hand, the core lineup consisting of black, white sky blue, and cobalt violet offers choices that are versatile and universally appealing. These aren't trendy colors meant to grab attention for a few months before looking dated. They are colors chosen to look professional, calm, and timeless. Samsung clearly wants this phone to feel appropriate everywhere. Whether you are walking into a high-stakes office meeting, working in a creative studio, attending a formal event, or simply going about your everyday life, the phone should feel like a natural extension of your personal style. This approach signals a maturity in design thinking, moving away from the gimmicky color trends of the past toward a palette that respects the longevity of the device. However, the most confident move Samsung is making lies beneath the surface, specifically in the display technology. The screen has always been Samsung's strongest asset. But with the S26 Ultra, they are pushing the boundaries of usability in challenging environments. Reports suggest the inclusion of a new anti-reflective coating that dramatically reduces glare. Anyone who has ever struggled to read their phone screen under bright sunlight or under harsh office lighting knows how frustrating glare can be. It forces you to cup your hands around the device or constantly adjust your angle to see what is on the screen. By implementing this advanced coating, Samsung is addressing a genuine pain point that affects user experience multiple times a day. This isn't just a minor tweak, it is a significant improvement in visibility that makes the device more functional in the real world. Alongside this anti-reflective breakthrough, a new generation of ultra-durable glass is expected to debut with the S26 Ultra. This material promises to improve both scratch and drop resistance, tackling the two biggest fears of smartphone owners. For years, users have felt compelled to apply thick screen protectors and encase their phones in bulky covers immediately after unboxing them. While protection is necessary, it often hides the beautiful engineering and design that went into the device. Samsung is reportedly combining this new glass with advanced display engineering that could eliminate the need for privacy filters and extra clarity films for many users. The idea behind this approach is simple yet profound: give users a display so good, so durable, and so clear that they don't feel the need to cover it up. Of course, real-world accidents will always exist, And no phone is completely indestructible, but this approach shows Samsung's growing belief in its own engineering capabilities. It invites the user to interact with the phone more directly, to feel the smoothness of the glass and the vibrancy of the colors without a barrier in between. This shift represents a vote of confidence in the product's build quality and encourages a more intimate connection between the user and their device. Another important change that is generating significant discussion is the integration of magnetic technology. Built-in magnets across the frame of the Galaxy S26 Ultra open the door to a smarter, more cohesive accessory ecosystem. This move aligns Samsung with a growing trend in the industry, but executes it with a focus on utility rather than novelty. One leaked accessory that is already creating buzz is a 5000 mAh magnetic wireless power bank with a built-in kickstand. This small addition changes the entire dynamic of charging. Traditionally, charging a phone is a passive activity. You plug it in, set it down, and wait. You cannot easily use the phone while it charges wirelessly on a flat pad, and wired charging often restricts your movement or how you hold the device. With this new magnetic power bank, charging becomes functional and active. Instead of waiting idly, you can snap the battery onto the back of your phone and immediately prop it up using the integrated kickstand. This allows you to keep watching content, taking video calls, following recipes in the kitchen, or working on documents while your phone charges comfortably in an upright position. It transforms a downtime activity into a productive or entertaining one. It is a small convenience, but when you consider how often we charge our phones throughout the day, these small conveniences add up to make a massive difference in daily use. It reflects a design philosophy that considers the entire life cycle of using the phone, not just the moments when you are actively tapping the screen. Samsung also appears ready to evolve the design language of the Ultra series in a way that prioritizes stability and aesthetics over tradition. For years, the floating camera lenses, where each sensor protrudes individually from the back of the phone, were a defining feature of the Ultra line. While distinctive, this design had practical drawbacks. The individual lenses could catch on pockets, the phone would wobble significantly when placed on a flat table, and the overall look began to feel somewhat fragmented as camera modules grew larger. With the S26 Ultra, leaks suggest a decisive move toward a more unified camera module. This design choice involves housing the lenses within a single, raised island or a more integrated structure. This change improves stability, ensuring the phone sits flat and secure on surfaces without rocking back and forth. It also reduces the risk of individual lenses getting scratched or damaged, since they are better protected within a unified housing. Furthermore, it gives the phone a more cohesive and premium appearance. The back of the device looks cleaner, more intentional, and less cluttered. It may not be as dramatic or instantly recognizable as the floating lens design of the past, but it feels more mature. This is the kind of design that ages well. It doesn't scream for attention with quirky geometry. Instead, it exudes a sense of balanced engineering. It feels like a tool that was designed to last, rather than a fashion statement trying to stand out at all costs. What truly sets the Galaxy S26 Ultra apart from its competitors and even its predecessors is the philosophy behind its creation. Smartphone users today have evolved. They are no longer impressed solely by raw power or marginally faster processors. The average consumer has realized that having the fastest chip means very little if the battery dies by noon, or if the software becomes sluggish after a year. Today's users expect more than just power. They want reliability, durability, long software support, and meaningful improvements that actually affect their daily lives. They want a device that works seamlessly from the moment they turn it on until the day they decide to upgrade, years later. Samsung seems to understand this shift perfectly. The S26 Ultra feels like a phone designed specifically for people who keep their devices longer and rely on them more heavily. This includes creators who need consistent performance for editing, professionals who depend on their phones for communication and productivity, and serious users who demand excellence in every interaction. Performance upgrades, AI improvements, camera enhancements, and battery optimizations are still expected to play a major role in the S26 Ultra, even if specific technical details remain under wraps for now. However, based on what we already know about Samsung's direction, these upgrades will likely support the same overarching theme: consistency over chaos, refinement over noise. We can expect the processor to be optimized not just for benchmark scores, but for thermal efficiency, ensuring the phone stays cool during extended use. The AI features will likely focus on practical tasks like summarizing meetings, enhancing photos in real time without altering their natural look, and managing battery life intelligently based on user habits. The camera system, while potentially retaining similar megapixel counts on paper, will likely see massive improvements in image processing, low light performance, and video stabilization. These are the kinds of improvements that users notice and appreciate every time they pick up their phone. They are not flashy marketing bullet points. They are the quiet engines of satisfaction that drive loyalty. Samsung isn't trying to surprise you every 5 minutes with a new gimmick or a fleeting feature that will be forgotten by the next news cycle. They are trying to earn your trust over years. This is a fundamental shift in how a tech giant approaches product development. In the past, the goal was often to create a wow moment at the launch event. Now, the goal seems to be creating a really on me feeling that persists for the entire lifespan of the device. And that might be the most powerful thing about the Galaxy S26 Ultra. It doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel experimental in a way that risks user frustration. It feels confident. Samsung seems to know exactly what this phone is supposed to be. It is a flagship that doesn't need excuses or compromises. It is a device that stands on its own merits, offering a complete package of hardware and software that works in harmony. Consider the implications of this strategy for the broader market. If Samsung succeeds with this approach, it could force other manufacturers to rethink their own roadmaps. We might see a move away from the annual arms race of insignificant spec bumps toward a focus on build quality, software longevity, and user-centric features. This would be a healthy development for the industry and, more importantly, for the consumers. It validates the idea that a smartphone is a long-term investment, not a disposable gadget. The S26 Ultra represents a maturation of the smartphone category. Just as cars eventually moved from focusing purely on horsepower to focusing on safety, comfort, and reliability, smartphones are undergoing a similar evolution. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is positioning itself at the forefront of this transition. Let's delve deeper into the potential software experience that will accompany this hardware. Given Samsung's commitment to long-term support, the S26 Ultra will likely launch with a version of their One UI interface that is streamlined and intuitive. The focus here would be on reducing friction. Users shouldn't have to dig through menus to find essential settings. The interface should anticipate needs. For instance, the integration of the magnetic accessories we discussed earlier would likely be seamless. The moment the power bank snaps on, the phone could automatically adjust its display settings for media consumption or switch to a specific mode that optimizes charging heat management. This level of integration between hardware and software is where the true magic happens. It creates an ecosystem feel even with a single device. The software updates promised for this device will likely span several years, ensuring that the phone remains secure and receives new features long after its release. This commitment to longevity is a direct response to the user desire for sustainability and value. People do not want to throw away a perfectly good phone just because the software support has ended. By extending this support, Samsung is acknowledging the environmental impact of tech waste and the financial reality of their customers. Furthermore, the camera system deserves a closer look in the context of this refinement philosophy. While we often hear about zoom capabilities and sensor sizes, the real story with the S26 Ultra might be in the consistency of the output. A refined camera system is one that produces great results in any situation, without requiring the user to be a photography expert. The unified camera module design suggests a more stable platform for the internal components, which could lead to better optical image stabilization. This means sharper photos in low light and smoother video footage, even when walking. The AI processing mentioned earlier will likely work behind the scenes to balance exposure, reduce noise, and ensure color accuracy across all lenses. The goal is to make the camera disappear, allowing the user to focus on the moment they are capturing rather than the settings they need to adjust. This aligns perfectly with the target audience of creators and professionals who need their tools to be reliable partners, not obstacles. The battery life and charging capabilities also fit into this narrative of practical perfection. With the inclusion of magnetic charging solutions and improved power efficiency from the processor and display, the S26 Ultra aims to be a phone that lasts all day, and then some. But beyond just capacity, it is about how that power is delivered. Fast charging is useful, but safe fast charging that doesn't degrade the battery over time is essential. Samsung's approach suggests a balance here, providing quick top-ups when needed while prioritizing the long-term health of the battery cell. This is another example of thinking about the user's experience 3 or 4 years down the line, not just on day one. It shows a respect for the customer's investment and a desire to build a relationship that lasts. Connectivity is another area where refinement will likely shine. As we move further into an era of interconnected devices, the smartphone acts as the central hub. The S26 Ultra is expected to feature the latest connectivity standards, ensuring fast data speeds, stable connections, and seamless interoperability with other devices. But again, the focus will likely be on reliability. Dropping a call or losing a Wi-Fi signal is unacceptable for a professional user. The engineering efforts here will be directed toward maintaining robust connections in crowded areas, inside buildings with thick walls, and while moving at high speeds. This invisible reliability is often taken for granted until it fails, and by prioritizing it, Samsung is addressing one of the most critical aspects of the user experience. The build quality extends beyond just the glass and the frame. It touches every aspect of the physical interaction with the phone. The weight distribution, the texture of the materials, the tactile feedback of the buttons, all these elements contribute to the feeling of a premium device. The S26 Ultra is rumored to use advanced alloys and composites that offer high strength without adding unnecessary bulk. This ensures the phone feels substantial and durable in the hand, but not heavy or cumbersome. The attention to detail in these areas is what separates a good phone from a great one. It is the difference between a device that feels like a mass-produced commodity and one that feels like a crafted instrument. As we consider the market positioning of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, it becomes clear that Samsung is targeting a specific mindset. They are not chasing the budget-conscious buyer who only cares about the lowest price. Nor are they solely targeting the early adopter who wants the newest thing regardless of its flaws. They are targeting the discerning user who values quality, reliability, and thoughtful design. This is a demographic that is willing to pay a premium for a product that delivers on its promises and stands the test of time. By focusing on this group, Samsung is building a loyal customer base that will return year after year, trusting that the next iteration will continue to refine and improve upon the last. This strategy fosters brand loyalty in a way that aggressive marketing campaigns never could. Loyalty earned through consistent excellence is the strongest kind of loyalty there is. It is also worth considering the environmental angle of this refined approach. By building phones that last longer, both physically and in terms of software support, Samsung is inherently reducing electronic waste. When users keep their phones for 3, 4, or even 5 years because the device continues to perform well, fewer devices end up in landfills. This aligns with growing global concerns about sustainability and corporate responsibility. Samsung's move toward perfection and longevity can be seen as a proactive step toward a more sustainable future for the tech industry. It sends a message that innovation doesn't always mean making something new. Sometimes, it means making something better and making it last. The narrative surrounding the Galaxy S26 Ultra is one of quiet confidence. There is no need for loud declarations or overstated claims. The leaks and the reported features speak for themselves. They tell a story of a company that has listened to its users, analyzed the market, and decided to double down on what matters most. The 6 timeless colors, the glare-reducing display, the ultra-durable glass, the magnetic ecosystem, the unified camera module. All these elements come together to form a cohesive vision. It is a vision of a smartphone that serves as a reliable companion in a chaotic world. It is a tool that empowers users to do their best work, capture their best memories, and stay connected with the people who matter most, without the distraction of technical limitations or design flaws. In a world that often feels rushed and unpredictable, there is something deeply comforting about a product that embodies stability and thoughtfulness. The Galaxy S26 Ultra represents this sentiment. It suggests that the peak of technology isn't necessarily about reaching for the stars with every new release, but about grounding ourselves in excellence. It is about mastering the fundamentals and executing them flawlessly. This approach requires patience, discipline, and a deep understanding of the user's needs. It requires a willingness to ignore the noise of the competition and stay true to a core philosophy. Samsung appears to have embraced this challenge with the S26 Ultra. and the result is a device that commands respect before it has even been officially announced. So, the real question isn't whether the Galaxy S26 Ultra will be impressive. Given Samsung's track record and the depth of refinement evident in the leaks, it undoubtedly will be. The specs will be top tier, the screen will be stunning, and the camera will be capable. The real question is whether this smarter, calmer, and more focused approach is what flagship buyers are ready for. Are consumers ready to value longevity over novelty? Are they ready to appreciate the subtle improvements that make daily life easier, rather than the flashy features that look good in a commercial? If the answer is yes, and all signs point to a growing desire for exactly this kind of product, then the Galaxy S26 Ultra could quietly become one of the most respected smartphones Samsung has ever made. It could set a new standard for what a flagship should be, shifting the industry focus back to the user experience and away from the marketing hype. Sometimes, the strongest evolution isn't loud, it isn't accompanied by fireworks or dramatic music, it is precise. It is the result of countless hours of testing, tweaking, and perfecting. It is the accumulation of small decisions that add up to a monumental leap in quality. The Galaxy S26 Ultra embodies this precise evolution. It stands as a testament to the power of restraint and the beauty of refinement. As we wait for the official unveiling, the anticipation builds not for a shock, but for a confirmation. A confirmation that Samsung knows exactly what it is doing, and that they are committed to delivering a product that truly serves the people who use it. This is the promise of the S26 Ultra, and it is a promise that resonates deeply in today's technological landscape. If you found this deep dive into the potential of the Galaxy S26 Ultra insightful, remember that staying updated with these developments is key to making informed decisions about your tech. We strive to bring you clear, research-based insights that cut through the noise. Please take a moment to like this video if you enjoyed the analysis, and consider subscribing to our channel for daily tech updates. We are dedicated to exploring the future of technology with you, one detailed story at a time. And if you are curious about how these design shifts might influence other upcoming devices, be sure to watch our next video where we explore the ripple effects of Samsung's new strategy across the entire mobile industry. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next update.